Hello, I'm Sr Margaret Obrovac, daughter of St. Paul, and I'm standing here by the bronze holy door of the Basilica, the Papal Basilica of St. Mary Major, Santa Maria Maggiore in Rome. Depicted here are two titles of Mary. One, Mary as Mother of God, proclaimed by the bishops at the Council of Ephesus in the year of 431, and Mother of the Church, proclaimed by Pope Paul VI, soon to be St. Paul VI, during the Second Vatican Council at the closing of the Third Session in 1961. We see her here, as the Greek Christians would call her, the Hodiciteria, she who shows the way. Instead of Christ, the Christ child, she is seen pointing to Christ rising from the tomb. Those of us who pray the Rosary will connect her immediately and connect this scene with the marriage feast of Cana. At that time, Jesus changed water into wine after Mary said to the waiters, "Do whatever he tells you." Jesus worked the first of his signs, the Gospel of John tells us, and his disciples believed in him. Marriage in the Old Testament was a symbol that was used by the prophets to symbolize the faithful union of God with his people. In the Gospel according to John, Cana was used to symbolize the wedding of Christ on the cross, when the Father gave the church to him, a church that sprang from his pierced heart. Remember that hymn, "The church's one foundation is Jesus Christ her Lord. She is his new creation by water and the word. From heaven he came and sought her to be his holy bride. With his own blood he bought her, and for her life he died." Even in the Old Testament, when the people of God were unfaithful to God, they still remained his bride. And even now in the church, with it, as sinful as we are, we forever remain the bride of Christ, all together. This is what we mean when we say that the church is indefectible. Not that she's without defect, but that she cannot totally defect or separate herself from Christ. Separation is impossible also because the church is the body of the risen Christ. Paul VI said this is why Mary is the mother of the church, because the body is inseparable from Christ her head. Just as the Council Fathers at Ephesus said that the two natures of Christ are inseparable, so too Christ, risen from the dead, is inseparable from his body. Even more, Pope Paul VI, in this book, Wisdom from Paul VI, one of the Pauline Books and Media's newest titles, calls Mary the poetess and prophetess of redemption. Let's listen. Do we want to be imitators of Christ? Let us look to Mary. She is the image that reflects Christ better than any other. How close the gospel is to us in the power that Mary radiates with human and superhuman splendor. When we draw close to her, any fear we would have is dissipated. Fear that in marking our spirituality with devotion to Mary, our religious sense would become soft, weak, and almost infantile. She is the poetess and prophetess of redemption, and we hear from her pure lips, "He has brought down the powerful from their thrones and lifted up the lowly." Pope Paul VI concludes, "Mary is our ally. She is the confidence of the poor, of the lowly, of the suffering. She is even the refuge of sinners. She consoles every grief of ours. She teaches us to be good, to be strong, and to be compassionate toward all. She is the Queen of Peace. She is the Mother of the Church." God bless you.